Welcome back to Sunny's Adventures, and this video is going to be me doing the Ragnar, which is basically a relay race run. We have a team of 8 that all share the same bib number, and we're going to be running around 120-ish miles over the course of 24 hours. So, I have to pack for that. First I gotta do my laundry because I need my running clothes that are dirty. So I need to go wash my clothes, and it is 5:30, so I have about 12 hours until I am on the road and driving, because it's about 2 hours from here. That means but including that is sleeping. And I want to be able to eat something like carb loaded so that I can, be fueled for my run. I wrote myself a packing list to hopefully pack. I gotta do my dishes just because I don't want those sitting for 2 days. But yeah, so follow me on journey. I'm gonna pack quick, but I'm gonna try and record as much as I can. I'm with my team. I only know one person on my team, and the rest are friends of friends of friends. So it's one of my coworkers, and he asked me if I wanted to be the last person on their team because they needed somebody, and I was like, you know what, why not? YOLO. So I'm gonna be their teammate, and I'm hyped but also nervous because you have to run also at night in the dark. It's a 24-hour thing, and you take turns, and we got different courses, different mileage loops that we gotta make at these mountain bike trails in Wausau, Wisconsin. So, that's where I'm at. So it's gonna be awkward recording with them, but I'm sure there's times where I'll walk away or just get some nice clips. For sure fill you in, because this is something I've never done, and I kind of want to document it because it'd be kind of cool. And I'm not sure what to bring because the weather is also iffy. It's gonna rain, but it's also only like, a day and a half, so I don't need that much stuff. But also, if my feet get wet every time I run, I want to put on fresh socks so I don't get blisters. But if my shoes are wet, will it matter if I have fresh socks on? I feel like it'll be a little better even if my socks get wet from my shoes. I don't know. So I'm gonna bring at least like 3 or 4 pairs of socks just to be safe in case I gotta change them every time I have to do a different route. And then I want to obviously have a sweater, sweatpants, obviously my running clothes. I'm gonna wear my running shoes and probably bring a backup pair of shoes to wear home and or in between runs if my running shoes get soaked. Plus, it's on mountain bike trails, so it might be muddy if it rains, and then my stuff's just gonna get so messed up, and I don't want to wreck the person's car I'm driving in because we're carpooling. But yeah, they're picking me up at 6 a.m. But that's where I'm at, so follow me on this journey because I don't really know how it's gonna be. But first, I gotta do my laundry and then pack. So see you in a sec. Good morning. It is 5:30 in the morning. So early. Earlier than a regular day for work. But I'm awake. Jay will be here at 6 o'clock to pick me up. I did not sleep at all last night. I just could not fall asleep. It was so hot in here. But I'm gonna get dressed and then put the last couple things in my bag, and I think I'll be ready. I'm so tired. I'm also really nervous this is the longest run thing I've ever done, so I think I can do it, but I'm just nervous. Luckily, I don't have to run till 4-ish p.m. tonight, but we gotta get there by 8. Our team starts running at 10, but I don't run till 4. The most part I'm nervous for is running at night. It's gonna be spooky. Alright, I'm gonna grab my chair out of the garage and load up the car. I'll see how much recording I do when I get there, but I'm not sure. I'm definitely gonna take videos and pictures, but I don't know if I'm gonna be a talking part because I don't want people to stare at me. Yeah, we'll see. We just ran in the dark. we're driving back from Wausau. And I'm driving because Jay's falling asleep. I'm driving his Subaru, his Wilderness Outback. It's actually pretty nice. It's pretty dope, actually. Although, it's a touch of spiderweb. So there's that. I'm waiting for him to go to the bathroom. Okay, the Ragnar race is over, and I'm excited to give you an update on how my weekend went. Or, I guess, the 24 hours of running around the clock in the rain. Well, okay, it rained a little. I'm just really thankful it didn't rain when I went. So the event was I don't remember if I said this or not, but it was a team of 8 where we would run as a relay. And so each of us would run 15-ish. My watch said I ran 15.5 miles. The whole team as a collective ran between 120 to 126-ish miles is what it was. And so we did this in Wausau, Wisconsin at 9 Mile, and it was so fun. It was cool. Everybody there is like such a vibe. Like they're all super extremely nice people, and it was so fun. Like it was a good time. We basically, I only slept 2 hours out of the 24 hours that I was there. It was kind of crazy. Like you go see people off for their runs. So like every hour you're up there trying to, cheer on your team and, keep everybody motivated. And it's hard to sleep. There's so much going on. Like since people are up around the clock, like we were right next to the bathroom. So all you could hear was the bathroom doors opening and closing. There's lights everywhere because people are shining like bright, or people are lighting up their campsite so that they can see, they're playing cards and stuff like that. But people are talking all night long because everybody's awake because you're going to run in a couple hours. Like I ran the time slots of 4:30, 12:30-ish, 1 o'clock-ish, and then it was like 9 a.m. So there was an hour delay for the rain because it did rain pretty good, but they stopped it because of the lightning, not the rain. Because at one point, one of the guys there, he got dumped on so hard, and I felt kind of bad, but he also kind of got lost in the woods a little bit, which is crazy. But I kind of want to show you what I got. So overall, it was super fun. So, I don't know, my first run I did, so they had green, yellow, red. Green was 3.5, yellow was 5, although my watch said it was 5.5, and then red was 6.5. So I went at 4 o'clock, I did the green, so the 3, that one was pretty good. I got a good time. These were all on mountain biking trails, so it was very rocky, rooty, curves through the woods, everything like that. It was kind of cool. And I did volunteer in one of the, between my first time slot to be like almost like a directing traffic. So, because the green one had like a cross where people kept getting screwed up, so they would go the wrong way and then they'd have to do the loop twice, and it would screw everybody's times up. So they were trying to avoid not doing that. And they didn't have like a shuttle for us to go up, take us to that point, so we ended up walking, but it was only like a quarter mile, so it wasn't too bad. But, so yeah, I did green first. Here is the shirt they gave everybody for this year. So it says Ragnar Trail Wisconsin. That's the Ragnar logo. It's like, because it's Race Ragnar, so, or Run Ragnar or something like that, where it's double R's. And also looks like a Viking mask or something, because it has something to do with something like that. Here's the back. It says run, camp, repeat, Trail Wisconsin, 120-ish miles with, a better together, and then 9 Mile Forest, Wisconsin. And team equals family. It's pretty sick. I actually really like the color. It's a soft shirt. It's a little thin, but, if I'm going to run in this shirt again, you kind of want it thin. But yeah, sick shirt. And then when you finish, they also, with your medal, they give you this decal. I don't know if you can see it because it's white on white, but it's basically the RR logo, the Ragnar logo, and it just says Ragnar 2025. This is like a car decal, or wherever you want to stick it, I suppose. I don't think I'll stick it on my car. I might just leave it, but we'll see. Maybe if I buy that Tacoma, I'd stick this on my Tacoma. I don't think I'd stick it on my Dart. I don't know. They also give you a free sticker here. I stuck it to my water bottle right when we got there, but it says Ragnar running wild since 2004. So that must have been when they started it. Although in Wisconsin, they didn't start it till, I think, 9 years ago. It was like 2017, I think. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, so it must have been 2016, because I think it's been going on for 9 years in Wisconsin. So they gave me that sticker, and I stuck it to my Yeti. So then my next race was overnight. I was really nervous because this is when the hour delay happened right before I went. So it rained. It was a couple people before I went, actually. They stopped and they couldn't go until theirs was on. But it rained pretty good, lightning, thunder, all the things. I was really nervous. I did not want to run in the thunderstorms. I don't like thunderstorms at all, and much less running in the dark in the middle of the woods by myself. Just not my thing. And so I'm glad it didn't do that. And I was just so focused to not trip or break my ankle or break anything and not get lost in the middle of the woods that I was not focused on my running at all. And I just ran, didn't stop the whole 10K. And yeah, it was good. I felt really good afterwards. Like, I was even talking to this guy. I met this guy from the Air Force from Minneapolis. The last, half a mile, we were talking the whole way. And he was having a hard time keeping up with me, which was interesting because in the Air Force, I feel like they got to be really fit. But he said that's not necessarily the case because I asked him. We were talking about everything under the sun, to be honest. But it was pretty sick. He had to run double back-to-back, so I probably would have talked to him a little more when we were done. But he had to go do another one because one of his teammates got hurt, so we had to, get the miles in somehow. But yeah, that was cool. It was the most insane and technical run. The first mile wasn't bad. Second mile was iffy, but going from 2 to the fourth mile, between 2 and 4, was insanely technical. It was rocks, big rocks, small rocks, curvy. It was just so hard. And I have so many times where I tweaked my ankle and I thought I was gonna go down, or it hurt. But obviously I didn't fall. I didn't fall the whole time, which was nice. But I just thought I was gonna break my ankle the whole time, and I was running and I was trying to do the highest knees so I wouldn't trip myself. And I would pass people and they would all be like, good luck, because they're all walking because it was so scary to not trip. And I had a handheld flashlight and a headlamp on. My handheld flashlight died on me when it was the 2.5 mile mark. So the rest, for 4 miles, I only had my headlamp. And if you've ever done a run in the night, a headlamp is not enough because it projects this way where you need to see down, especially running through the woods. It was just not enough. And I'm glad that the person gave me a handheld for the first 2 miles, but definitely if I do it again, I need to bring a flashlight, a handheld flashlight. It's crazy. Oh yeah, and then we were running. So then after you go through the first 4 miles, so it gets less technical. You run through kind of a grassy area for a little bit. It looks almost field-like or marshish. It wasn't super wet. It was I thought it was gonna be super slippery. There's a few times I did catch myself slipping a little bit, but I switched. So first run on the green, I ran on with my Brooks, which are just street shoes. The version I have the Glycerin 22s, I think. And then I switched to my Ultra trail running shoes, and the difference that made, it was just night and day. I'm so glad I did not wear my Brooks in the night. I would have probably fell and broke myself and did all sorts of things. I even caught myself stopping and looking in different directions because the runs, you can see different ways people go, especially because it's bike trails and bikers just take the path that they want. They make a vision in their head and they just take it, so you can see different areas that people have gone. So it wasn't super marked, especially it being dark. I just couldn't barely tell. And they had these little lights that would show, so eventually I would see a light. I'm okay, I'm still going the right way. But sometimes they were really far apart where they should have been a little closer together for my mental state to make sure I was going the right way. But anyways, so one of the guys said that the ending of that, the last mile or two, was running up the side of Rib Mountain, which is a snowboarding / ski hill here, which is kind of cool. I've obviously skied there, and it was kind of cool to say now that I think I've ran part of it. Kind of interesting. Okay, so they had a gift shop there. So this shirt was on sale, so I bought it because it was only $20. But it's a Ragnar run shirt. This one's more of a run material. This is just the craft logo. But yeah, it's just a blue dry fit shirt. I did not run in this when I was there, but I bought it, so it was pretty sick. I like it. I like the color, everything. It's a medium. It's slightly big. They didn't have a small, but you know what? It was $20, so I don't care. I usually like bigger shirts anyways, but not really when I run. But I think I would wear that not just running because it's just a cool shirt. And then they also had these Christmas ornaments. So you'll see me hanging this ornament on my tree this year, which is kind of cool. It's a little scratched up. So they've probably had it for a while traveling around, but you never know. It's pretty cool though. And then they got, this is the same logo that was on the back of my shirt. This is just another sticker. So they had these, so I grabbed one. Super cool. Again, not sure if I'll stick it on anything because I'm like, I love stickers, but I always like, I have sticker remorse. Like if I stick a sticker on something, I just feel so bad that I stuck it on something. But I just like collecting the stickers. So that's kind of like where I'm at. And then I got this Ragnar trail magnet. So this magnet will go, I'll hang the magnet on my fridge because that's just where all my things are. This is a really heavy magnet too. Pretty heavy duty, which is cool. And it kind of matches the vibe of my pins that I got from the national parks. Even though this isn't a pin, it just looks like the same style. And then I did my last run at, so I was the 7th out of the 8th runner out of the set, so that was kind of cool. I didn't want to be the last one to run, which is nice because, you know, everybody's kind of sitting around waiting for you, but which actually worked out well with me having to pack my stuff and all that. And I was able to wake up in enough time to, you know, get some coffee, get a little snack before I had to run at super early. Because mine wasn't early. It was, I want to say it was like 9. It was when I ran. But anyways, I did the 5 miles. It was honestly the hardest one. So I didn't walk the green one or the red one. So at all. Like I was totally content, fine, felt good. I don't know if it's because I took gels. Like I tried gels for the first time and I tried those with those runs. Or if it was just because I hadn't slept the entire time. I literally slept 2 hours. I was super exhausted. And I hydrated extremely well for the first 2 runs. Like I was drinking like 80 ounces of water within an 8-hour period. Like I was drinking so much water. And then when I was trying to go to bed, I drank less water because I didn't want to have to get up and pee. I wanted to just go to bed even though I couldn't go to bed. So I was just trying to not, you know, cut the distractions on going to sleep. I just stopped drinking water. I didn't have another gel. I only had 2 gels, so I only had 2. I did have some coffee, but it was just not enough. And yeah, I don't know what it was, but the first 1.5 miles, I had that side stitch, you know, like that side ache that you get. And it was for a whole 1.5 miles. Like no matter what I did, breathing, hands on my head, pushing on it, leaning forward, nothing would get rid of it. Eventually it did go away. I'm not sure exactly which method took it away, but it just took so long. It felt like so long. And it was the first half of it, so like 2.5 miles was just up the whole way. Like you're just going up. And it was curvy and up. And I was like, Jesus, I'm gonna, like I was so tired. So I walked a little bit intermittently with the running. It was crazy. And then the second half, I felt so much better because my side didn't hurt. And I felt like my body was finally like, okay, we're really gonna run after running, you know, through the night, not sleeping, multiple times. My watch was like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you really sure? Kind of situation. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. So then I finally finished it took me the longest to probably do the 5 miles. It took me about the same time to run 5 miles as it did to run 6.5, which is kind of crazy. Just think how long that took me. But even though I still fit in the actual allotted time that I had, I didn't go over, which was nice. But it still took me longer than, you know, because I did the red faster than I needed to. So yeah, that's how it was. It was good. I finished and handed off my bib to Jay. Like you'd pass the bib, you only get 1 bib per team. And then I went and packed and he ran the last little bit. And then when he was done, we ran, like you'll see in the video, the ending where we all run together. But yeah, we ran up the entire team together to finish the last little bit. And then that's when they give you your medals and, you know, we take pictures and stuff. And it was so much fun. The vibe was real. And I loved the people that were there. They all had such good attitudes and it was really funny. So yeah, I hope I can do it again sometime and it would be fun. So here's the medal they gave you. So it's on this like sunset colored band that says Ragnar 2025. And then so they change them up every year of what they are, is what I was told. And they, you know, sometimes they're like bottle openers or whatever, various things. But this one is it says Ragnar Trail, Wisconsin, and then it has the 9-mile elevation map, and it says 120-ish miles for 2025. So that's what it looks like. It's a wooden piece, which is interesting. It's the only one I've had that's like this kind of style. And then the back it looks weird when it's alone, but they all connect together. So I think I got a picture right here. I'll put it on the screen. But they all connect together, all 8 of us on our team, and they created a picture together, like a little puzzle, metal puzzle, which is kind of cool. And I liked that. It was very unique. I'm editing this video and I forgot to mention 2 events that happened while we were there. overnight. One, the chick was trying to make the dinner so everybody has a team captain, and our team captain has nothing really to do with her being a team captain, but this is just who she was. She was making her dinner, so she was using one of those camping things that you cook. It's like a Bunsen burner, but for camping. And so she was gonna heat that up, and she lit it, and then she spilt some of the, I don't know if it's butane or what sort of fuel, propane, whatever's inside the can, and it like lit up on fire, and we were under two tents, like one, like, they called it a gazelle or like a gazebo thing, and then the other one was like a easy up canopy type situation, and she threw it off the plastic table because it's plastic, and then it rolled, and then right like inches away from the gazebo thing, everybody stood up in the tent because we were all underneath the tent. We were playing cards and just kind of talking and chilling, and yeah, we all freaked out like we were about to burst into flames, like we thought we were going to start on fire, and it was actively raining at this point. So I think this was the point where we had the delay, so everybody was there to, like, usually like at least one person's missing, but yeah, everybody was gone. And so one of the guys like picked it up as it was like a fireball and threw it into the rain, and the rain did calm it down. Like, we weren't sure if the water was gonna put it out, but it did. That was a crazy situation. It was like almost like a freak out moment. I don't know what we would have done if the gazebo lit on fire. We kept saying how like each team gets strikes, and like when you do something wrong, and we're like, how many strikes do you get if you light the whole camp on fire? So that was kind of funny. And the other one I wanted to mention is like part of the whole situation on trying to sleep. So my tent was the closest one. I actually slept in Jay's tent, but Jay's tent was the closest one to the bathrooms, and they actively were pumping the bathrooms like they were all porta potties. So they were pumping those like around the clock. Like, they were actually really good at keeping them clean. They refreshed all like the toilet paper, and they were wiping it down and pumping it out and doing all that. We seen them, since we were right there, we seen them do it like every 8 hours or something like that. Like, it was very frequent, more than I've ever seen at an event before. I mean, this truck was big. It had obviously all the pumping equipment and tubing and all that on the back, and it was like basically an F-250 that was pumping the stuff out. And anyways, it pulled up directly in front of my tent, so headlights beaming in, and then the engine, like, I couldn't see anything because the tent has like a cover on it, so in my head I'm getting run over by this truck, and I thought it pulled directly up, like, it's basically its bumper was touching the side of the truck or the tent, and then when it turns its motors on to pump the stuff out or spray it down or whatever it was doing, the motors were so loud, it scared me so much, and it took me so long to like not think I was about to get ran over by a truck. And I was like, should I get out of my tent? Should I not get out of my tent? I'm like, well, if I'm gonna get ran over, I'm gonna get ran over. There's no way I'm gonna beat the truck, because the zippers were hard. I could not figure out the zippers on this tent. I felt kind of dumb, but yeah, so that was just something I thought I'd add while I was editing this and remembered. That was my experience doing the Ragnar. I tried to record a little bit on the runs. You could kind of see some terrain, but it's honestly just mountain bike trails. If you ever walk through the woods and go on a mountain bike trail, it probably all looks the same. I did like how the colors were starting to change on the trees. It was very pretty. A little muddy, it rained, but whatever. I did not record any of the red because at night, one, you couldn't see because it was dark. Two, I was too focused on not falling and not getting lost. And I just I kept telling myself I'm gonna record when I stopped to walk for a little bit, but I actually never stopped and walked, so I didn't pull up my phone. And I was really banking on, if my headlamp died, I needed to use my phone as a flashlight. So I wanted to preserve my phone battery because it was already going through the night. Obviously, you're camping, don't really have a way to charge it. I did have a power bank, but I didn't charge it before I went on that run. So yeah, that was that. And then I think I recorded a little bit on the green trail as well. The yellow. So yeah, that was my experience. I was too embarrassed to pull up my GoPro while we were actually out there, so I only got some clips off my phone, but I'll include them in here. That was my fun time. Thank you so much for following my journey, and I think this weekend we're gonna do Oktoberfest and hang out with my friends from Eau Claire, so yeah, they're gonna come here, and it should be fun. I think I'm gonna try and record that. Thank you so much, and have a good night. Bye.